So 12 Tennessee Democrats got up and walked out during Governor Bill Lee's State of the State address, and I am so happy to hear this. You know, so many times when I'm doing Tennessee politics here on the channel, I'm telling you about something outrageous and radical that Governor Bill Lee's trying to get pushed through, or we're talking about all the crazy and harebrained stuff that people like Cameron Sexton and Andy Ogles will say, or Tim Burchett or Marsha Blackburn. We've got an absolute cast of clowns here in Tennessee who are doing their best to take this country back 200 years. But we've also got the good ones out there on the front lines who are holding the lines and who are fighting for all of us. And it's high time that we put way more attention on them. I've had the honor of having Gloria Johnson here on the channel to talk with. It's always great hearing from her. And I look forward to one day talking with Justin Jones and others because, you know, I want the good people of Tennessee to be recognized more, because we've got a whole cast of idiots here that sometimes gets too much of the attention. And that's because we're trying to fight so hard against this fascism that we have to talk about what they got going on. But here, Democrats said, you know what, enough's enough. We're not going to sit here and entertain this or listen to it any longer. And they got up and walked out, and I applaud them for it. So we're going to start here with this great clip from Justin Jones, and then we'll talk more about it. Take a look.
Recognize my colleagues. You see me stand united today. We have Representative Salinas, Representative Johnson, Representative Towns, Representative McKenzie, Representative Dixie, Representative Powell, Representative Mitchell, Representative Brooks, Representative Glenn, Representative Hakeem, Senator Oliver, and I'm Representative Jones. And I just want to commend my colleagues, because I want you to know that because we walked out today, there will be consequences. But we wanted to stand with you, because what is happening in there is a lie. What is happening there cannot be legitimized. We stand here 10 toes down for you, because we know that the special session was a scam. It was how you steal $500 million in 3 days. How do you do that? The governor raked the committees. Speaker Sexton created special committees and took off members, including Republican members, who were against vouchers. That's how you steal $500 million in 3 days. They intimidated Republican chairmen. They didn't even let their own members speak. That is what's happening here today. So we cannot sit in there and hear the lies of Governor Lee, because we know we cannot give legitimacy to what he's talking about there, because it's not about the common good, but it's about special interests instead of our collective good of our children and future generations. And so we stand united as Democrats. We stand united as people of conscience, ready to fight, ready to say that we will not give any more spotlight to that we are not the minority party. They like to say you Democrats are the minority party. I come today to say that we are the opposition party, and we will oppose Governor Lee, acolytes in the legislature, Speaker Sexton, Lieutenant Governor McNally, when it comes to attacking the rights of our constituents, because we take our oath of office seriously. That voucher scam is injurious to the people in our district and in their district too.
You see, that right there is the kind of voices that Tennessee, and actually this entire country needs. The entire Democratic Party needs that kind of fire and that kind of enthusiasm. Justin Jones stands up every day against the fascism in Tennessee and goes head to head with it and refuses to back down. And I respect him so much for doing so. And in this next clip, Gloria Johnson also explains a lot about what the walkout was about. Take a look.
It was very lackluster. It was nonsense, and I'm sick and tired of hearing lies about vouchers. I'm tired of having people demonize immigrants and refuse to educate children who have no say in the matter. We don't need to listen to that. The governor is full of misinformation and lies. Tennesseans deserve better. They deserve the truth. They don't deserve someone who defunds public education and demonizes hardworking people in Tennessee. And I'm sick and tired of it, and we need to send them a message. I will not obey in advance, and we will hold the line.
Why was it important to walk out?
To demonstrate that there are people in this state that disagree and are sick of being lied to, and sick of being trod on, and sick of being demonized. You know, we should be raising the wage so people can earn a living wage. We should be expanding Medicaid so everybody has access to affordable health care. We should be removing the tax off groceries. We should be legalizing cannabis. There's so much we should be doing to help Tennessee families, but instead we're lying to them, defunding public education to subsidize education for the wealthy. I was thrilled to see so many of my colleagues join me. It was great. I'd like to see the whole team walk out, and we're gonna keep working for that.
I love how she said we will not obey in advance and we have to hold the line. And I also love when Justin Jones said they like to say that we are the minority party, but we're really not. I point out to my friends here in Tennessee all the time, the Democrats have the more popular ideas. It's just that Republicans have spent so much time demonizing everything we say and painting us as the villains that that's what a lot of people in Tennessee latches onto and believes. But it's not true. I know so many people who disagrees with a whole lot of the things I say, but they would love to see cannabis legalized. But we're not allowed to have certain initiatives like that even on the ballot. We don't even get a say in those things in Tennessee. There's plenty of people I know that would love to see the minimum wage raised. We don't get a vote on that. We don't get a vote on things like paid leave, which the majority of Tennesseans are for. And the majority of Tennesseans are for cannabis being legalized as well. But those things never make it to the ballot. And then Republicans just sit back and demonize and vilify the Democrats and expel them and walk all over top of them, and also made it illegal for them to vote against Trump's immigration policy. They made it to where that if you're a Tennessee lawmaker and you vote for a sanctuary city, you could face a Class E felony. So why should any of them sit there and respect Governor Bill Lee when he doesn't even respect them enough to allow them to vote against something? That's not democracy. That's straight up authoritarianism. I've said it so many times. Tennessee is the blueprint for Project 2025. That's what it is. But we've got good people like Jones. We've got good people like Gloria Johnson who are standing up and pointing out that most Tennesseans are for our ideas. They've just bought into the narrative that Democrats are the most evil people on earth. And we have to work to change that narrative. We have to keep pointing out what we stand for. We have to keep pointing out our policies. And if we did, the funny thing is, if I was sitting around a bar with a bunch of my friends that disagrees with my politics and I started talking about legalizing weed, I guarantee they'd all be like, hell yeah, I'm with you, Brando. Now, I don't agree with you on the law, but I'm with you there, Brando. And the minute I said a Democrat came up with that idea, it'd be like, I don't know about that. Take all that aside for a minute. Take the name Democrat and Republican completely out of the mix just for a minute and focus on what Governor Bill Lee and House Speaker Cameron Sexton is saying. Watch how authoritarian they are, and then look over at someone like a Justin Jones or a Gloria Johnson, and you will see the contrast. You will see who's working for you, and you will see who's working against you. And so I applaud those Democrats for getting up and walking out, because Bill Lee is working against us. Gloria Johnson, Justin Jones, those 12 Democrats, they're working for Tennessee. So good on them for getting up and walking out. And I know there's people out there that'll say, well, that ain't no way to be. You can't respect the system. Republicans have completely disregarded the word respect. They're not the party of morals and values anymore. They're not the party of patriotism. They're not the rule of law party. They're not the respect party. They're none of those things. Everything they used to say they were for, they threw it all out the window. So if they don't have any respect and they're not going to play with the rules, then I don't see anything wrong with us getting up and walking out. You know, that's how I look at it, because when I went to the special sessions and attended that and seen it in person, it was something to see. It's like one of those things you can watch all of the clips and you can read about it in all the articles and you can interview the lawmakers and talk to them, but until you're there and you see how it works in person, you go, damn it, yeah, this is authoritarianism, plain and simple, and we have to stand up against that, because really, at the end of the day, I don't think any of us are truly for that. A lot of people gets caught up in their reality show bullshit, and they think they can just sit there with Trump and yell, you're fired, and own the libs. Meanwhile, the Republicans are owning them every day, and we have to help them to wake up and realize that we are on their side and the billionaires aren't. And I will keep repeating this line. On Inauguration Day, Donald Trump had his billionaire buddies up there with him. He had his followers out in the cold. That's going to be the next 4 years. And we need to keep reminding them of that every chance we get. Remind them that they're the ones being left out in the cold, and remind them that the good Democrats here in Tennessee are actually the ones that are fighting for them. It's not the Republicans. Bill Lee, Cameron Sexton, those guys don't give a flying damn about us rednecks. They don't. They truly don't. They use our culture against us to get their agenda pushed through. And they do it by demonizing and vilifying Democrats. And we have to work hard to change that narrative. It's going to take a while. I know some of you are saying, oh, Brando, Tennessee will never turn blue. But that's another thing I want to point out. Stop saying, oh, well, I live in Tennessee. My vote ain't going to matter. It's such a red state. If you keep that mentality, we'll never get out of this hole. So let your voices be heard. Start speaking up and standing out, and start looking to see who's standing up for you, and pay close attention to the ones that aren't.